Well, guys, it is looking like we have ourselves a new Game Informer video for the one and only Pokemon Sword and Shield. I thought this was a really interesting clip of their interview. So, if you want, let's take a listen together, 2 minutes and 47 seconds, and then we will discuss afterwards.
I've been art director on other spin-off Pokemon games like Pokemon Battle Revolution and Pokemon Trozei. I was working on a different project, and they were beginning development on what would become Sword and Shield. And I would hear from people working on it, oh, we've got something we just want to ask you about. And I'd be pulled away from what I was doing. And yeah, it became pretty clear that they were thinking about England and they wanted my opinion about the English countryside or the culture and stuff like that. And then I started hearing it'd be really good if you could come onto this project at some point. When it was decided that I'd be the art director for the game, there were two important aims that I had. One was to convey the beauty and the appeal of the UK. Because for people in the UK, we don't really like to talk too much about the really positive and the beautiful aspects of the country. And I live in Japan, and every time I go back, I can see, oh, this is really pretty, or this is really a beautiful view. And I really wanted to convey that in these games. The second aim was to convey the true nature of the UK as well, not just the kind of postcard interpretation of the UK. It's good to have those landmarks and kind of get a feeling of similarity, but I also wanted to convey the small details that people who come from the UK or people who visited the UK a lot, they can look at them and feel really familiar, and it doesn't feel like kind of a rough interpretation, more like something that is very true to the details of the UK. That was really important to me. For example, the signboards on the route, the first drafts that I got looked very kind of medieval or kind of fantasy kind of style signboards, but I asked them to revise that to get it closer to how it actually is in the UK. And those kind of small details, I think, kind of create a sense of familiarity for people who live there or visit there. We tried to create a lot of variety in the region as well. It is based on the UK, but there are more colorful locations as well within the game to create a sense of adventure.
So it's like an exaggerated version of the UK.
Yeah, it is. It's exaggerated.
Okay, so that's just more fun.
Yeah, more fun, exactly.
So, credit to Game Informer, I want to say that, because these interviews are actually pretty quality. If you want to head over to Game Informer's YouTube and give those a look-see, they have a lot of great content on there. But I wanted to talk about a few things that he goes over in the video that I think are really cool. Looking at these early concept pieces that they had put together, it's pretty clear they had the vision of sort of the Scottish, the Irish, countrysides, not exclusively the, I guess I would say, the English part of England or of the UK. And looking at, let's jump back. Looking at the stadiums, it seems like based on the size of that Pokemon, right, they had a pretty decent idea of how they wanted these to look. Looking at, your character's house, I think that stuff's always neat to see. And he talks about a more exaggerated version of the UK. And I think we see that in this area for sure. I think we see that, when we look at the Galar region, I think we see that, where is it? Somewhere in, somewhere in here they show kind of the desert stuff, of the wild or free area. And I love, this is where I say, anyone that puts this team in a box and says they do not care about the Pokemon games, they care about money, has never listened to the passion and the heart, just the attention to detail that goes into the direction of these games. Because if you're listening to him, he's not concerned about money. His comment about the signposts in this game was so poignant to me, and it completely expresses my point of why I love the team at Game Freak, regardless of the decisions that the Pokemon Company and Nintendo make. Because the team at Game Freak cares about us. They care about the games. And the fact that he's worried about how a signpost looks, that tells you everything you need to know. It tells you everything you need to know about the desires and the wants and the vision that this team has. And I think it's great. I don't know what else you could ask for out of someone. I love the aesthetics and the style of dress we saw with Pokemon Eevee and Pikachu. Let's Go. That the style of dress was all very reminiscent to the older games, and I would say very American inspired. You know, if you look at those original games, I would say very, I guess, culturally American inspired. But this is up and down, from the style of the houses, the landscapes, the characters' dressing, and when they talk about how the championship battles work and the league works here differently than it works in other places, it does. It feels like a new world and adventure in the Pokemon universe for us to explore. I genuinely cannot wait. And I just did a video covering the differences between the two games. I'll be curious to see as more differences come up. I love these kind of landscapes and seeing them. The first gym, I believe this is the first gym looking at the map, but the more details that come out, the more I think even this just really gets me excited. The more details that come out, the more excited for this game I get. And like I said in a previous video too, I have a genuine feeling this is the best Pokemon game we've ever seen. I had that feeling about Fire Emblem. I was spot on. I knew that I was going to be disappointed by Astral Chain, and I was. My instincts as of late for how I'm going to feel or how a game is going to be perceived have been pretty spot on. That's not to say that Astral Chain is a bad game, by the way, just that I wasn't going to enjoy it. So, yeah, I couldn't be happier with these interviews that Game Informer is trickling out to us as the month goes on. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Again, be sure if you're interested in any more, Game Informer has all of the ones I've been talking about lately on their YouTube channel. Much easier to navigate through video interviews there than, say, on their website. Also, let me know what you guys think of the direction of Pokemon Sword and Shield. I think it's amazing, but you may have a different / wrong opinion. I'm just kidding. But yeah, let's engage about in the comment section below if you have any thoughts on these interviews, on the art direction and the style choices for Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'd love to hear about them in the comment section below. And of course, make sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep moving. November 15th cannot come soon enough. Thank you so much, guys. I've been Chris. This has been the Tiger's Den. You guys have been great.